I think like the total airtime is kind of fascinating. I've probably done.
All righty. All right, we're gonna get this thing going. Um, want to discuss a couple things that I've seen. I want to kind of talk a little bit about that a State of the Union address too as well, just how you can actually see how this is actually functioning in our face. Go ahead and share that out. Get the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the unlike button. Hit a button. Push the button. All right. So we'll make sure this auto working.
I'll be right back. Hold on, let me turn the volume up. Oh, Chuck Schumer has showed up. I see it, and talk amongst yourselves. Work in action. Let me just turn that down a little bit. While they're work in action in Washington. That's pretty much the same kind of stuff I've been telling you guys about.
Mr. Speaker, the Acting Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
They're all coming in. So this oh, there's the Democrats right there, and there's that.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Now, what's this fool ass clown with the 1956 ponytail and pimp cane supposed to be some type of representative? These niggas is stupid. Peace to everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, put something in the chat when you pop in here. Put something in the chat. Hit the like button. Don't hit the like button. Hit the unlike button. Post it, repost it, just post it. You here? That's it. That nigga right there. Dummy. That nigga right there. This dude's a nut. He just ain't got nothing better to do just to act a fool. We got to sign up. We got to sign up.
Did you see that? Al Green tried to stick something in his face. What a
Call him Al Green. Oh yeah, actually that is his name, Al Green.
dick. I'm sorry. A total dick. And if you look at Trump, he's got game face on tonight, so I think we may get something tonight.
History, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. Its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its out.
So you see right there, his father, the first one to be here. He was born in 1940 or something like that, 1942. No, yeah, he's about my mom's age. He's born like 1944, 1945. And his daddy got here after the 1900s. He got here in the 20th century. So what do you know about 250 years? I'm cool with Trump, though. I ain't got no problem with Trump at all, for the most part. But what do you know about 250 years?
Allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. $2.4 million Americans, a record. The Olympics, and I got the 2020 as the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America. So I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done, and they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth. And the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from moving forward, factories, jobs. Moving forward, factories. Reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now, the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem. They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while, we're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Look at these people. Folios.
So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs a very big part of healthcare from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. Pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that is
wasting some time seeing who can come through before we get into the details of some other stuff. I figured I haven't really seen it. I could watch this in the meantime while I'm waiting for people to come in and just kind of, show that, being that, we are engulfed in this thing, it's good for you guys to know exactly what's going on. You see, talking about prescription drugs, a lot of stuff is going down, a lot of things, a lot of information. So gather this information, you'll be able to use it. I know people got parents and grandparents, might not know, a lot of different things going on. People still pay taxes. So here you go.
has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated.
Now, listen closely to this, because this is good. This is another form of what Trump is doing in regards to these foreigners that are hiding up under these corporations and so on and so so on and so forth, and how they're being able to get these big portfolios of properties and pretty much getting them like cheap, and then under the guise of paying all cash, quote unquote, paying all cash, and then a lot of these foreigners, I would say almost all the foreigners, and even other people that might have been here for a minute, were actually getting a lot of homes under fair housing, under the Fair Housing Act that was created, or I guess solidified, in the 1968 Indian Civil Rights Act. They were actually getting these properties dirt cheap. On top of that, getting HUD loans or FHA loans in order to get these purchases. And these cats was getting good checks, real nice checks. And some of them still are. That's the part they trying to clean up. So in a business aspect, he's doing his thing on that. So if you're in your area, you need to be looking around.
Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order.
There's almost nothing more lucrative than real estate. And being that you're an American, you will be able to get those things, you'll be able to get those things. Now, one place you got to look at, right, is the type of bank you go to or financial institution. Go online, and whatever state you're in, look up State Chartered Bank. That's where HUD the secretary of the HUD, which is the only brother in his administration, is interesting that he's the only brother, but he's over housing. He's over HUD, where they're actually taking the money, you know what I'm saying, like from the big banks or the big federal banks, and really that money is into the state charter banks, credit unions, and shit. All you need is a 580 for the most part. And they got money in there where they'll put down your deposit. Now, if you got a better score, if you in the 630s or something, 680, they might put up like 60 grand on your money, on your down payment, depending on where you at. But if you actually also look at, people think that low income is 20, 30, poverty level is 20, 30,000, depending on where you at. The poverty level is in some places 80,000, 90,000. So, and you can actually get a property on a HUD loan, first time home buyer, $600,000-700,000 house. It ain't got to be something that's beat up 200,000, 300,000. You could actually get a property up to 700,000, depending on what state you're in. Just got to look those things up.
To ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities.
Now, this is Barry Cunningham. It's a brother from Florida. Good dude. Good dude. He got good information. Eventually, I'm gonna share this out to him because there's some things that we need to discuss. You know, he's a big Trump fan. You know, he totes that line of that brother in that, you know, nice little convert. You know what I'm saying? To where he, you know, he will be considered a tether based on the fact that he comes from the island. So he's not gonna say nothing bad about America. But at the end of the day, he's very biased when it comes to the indigenous people of America. Either he don't know or he's just not wanting to state the truth of what it actually is. So he goes along with the narrative. He covers that.
In towns, you're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is homeownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
Now, the other thing that he needs to do is fix this foreclosure process, especially in states where it's non-judicial. They need to pass a law to make all these foreclosure processes judicial foreclosure. Now, a non-judicial foreclosure means that you don't have to go in front of a judge to do a foreclosure auction sale. A judicial foreclosure sale, like you would get in Florida, for example, they are a judicial foreclosure state. Like, in order for them to take your home, or they got to get a judgment from the judge. In California, they don't have to. They could just run it through the system, do the things the way they do it, And then they will go behind that and then do some form of an unlawful detainer like you're a tenant and get the landlord-tenant jurisdictional court to provide them a writ of possession to evict you as a tenant. So like a lot of these non-judicial foreclosures usually don't meet the standards. I would say probably 99% of them don't meet the standard. Because usually the foreclosure is being done by a third party, debt collector, servicer who maybe bought bad debt. Then we'll get into that. But most of the times, those auctions don't even go through and it reverts back to the beneficiary, which they consider to be that third party or that bank. And that third party or that bank then posts it on their website, find these debt collectors, which most of them are attorney firms. And that's a fact. And they create these shell corporations to do this collection. This is why I'm of the thought that all these foreclosures are being done by attorney firms. All debt collection processes are being done by attorney firms who are operating under shell corporations. So you look at a portfolio, go to your broker, like Caldwell Banker. You can also and type up REO, which is real estate owned, what they call real estate owned, but really it's a bank owned property. It's owned by the bank. And look up how many things they got. Their portfolio is huge, but you can't get to portfolio. You're a real estate investor. You got to have some type of connection to even get that portfolio. But if you got the right connections, 501c3, with the broker, they really supposed to be giving it to you for no more than 50 cents on the dollar. So you can get $1 million house for $500,000. And then if you got the portfolio, you can actually, make some things work.
And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Raysel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
Look at the right side. Okay, so the left side is the Republicans, the right side is the Democrats, if y'all didn't know. But look at them. Nobody is standing for seniors. Everything that he says he's doing for the people, they are sitting down. But all these people on this side are in states where we're mostly at. So our people are voting for them, who are not standing for, quote unquote, America first. I'm letting it flow through. I just want to get to this one part, and then there's two more parts, but I ain't timed this thing out.
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker.
So the key thing he said was for the people that built this country. Okay? For the people that built this country. Now we know who get redlined. We know who get cut off at the path. We know who has to, tap dance and explain everything and provide all types of things in order to get something. But this is what them Democrats are doing. Because over here, the Republicans is cheering. Over there, crickets. They're not saying nothing. And over there is where all the so-called colored people are at.
We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? I don't know. Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay. I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago,
All right, so look, give me a second. Let me put this music on. I'm getting phone calls out the yin yang. I mean, this is crazy. Well, maybe I might. Okay, I can do this and keep it pushing. All right.
I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance. He'll get it done. And we're able to find enough of that fraud. We will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked remind us that there are large parts of the world where corruption and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah, Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber.
Hey man, why didn't you make the title
Legal alien criminals are
Rebutting Trump shit?
record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
No, I'm wasting time right now. This ain't a part of my presentation.
Salute though, hope your day going all right though, bro. But this is a good topic though, man. Everybody watch this shit.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
That was deep how we did this. That was the dopest shit ever, bro.
That's what I was looking for right there.
But since you put that on mute, salute. Hope your day going all right, Aton. Thank you for having me up. Whoever in the chat, salute to you. I can't see y'all this Zoom shit.
Yeah,
salute,
I know.
Bro.
I ain't even updated my upgraded my StreamYard, so all right, I'm trying to figure this out. So I had
Yeah, if you don't know how to do it though, just set you up a different Google account, and you can have you can every day you can get you a free stream. Just name your new Google account Aton1, Aton2, Aton3, and go to StreamYard if you didn't know that.
All right, that's what's up. Doing that mañana. Yeah, this is what I was looking for though. That's why I paused it. I said, look at these niggas over here to the right. I said, that's crazy. Who the fuck want to participate in some shit like this?
I mean, this makes me, when I seen this makes me saddened that like 90% of black people still Democrats.
That's what I'm talking about right there. This right here, I want to make clear. Any nigga voting for a Democrat, man, we need you. We need to see you at the public square. I don't know why people
Now, like I
don't
be
want to
on
question these
YouTube.
cats, man. Why don't cats want to question these cats, bro? Why are they letting these cats just do whatever the fuck they want to do?
More black people in America
Crazy.
are mad more at Trump than they is the Democrats. That don't even make sense. That's like being married to a woman and you more mad at a man fucking her than your wife.
Uh-huh.
It don't make sense. I digress, man.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Shit don't make no damn sense, man. Now, this next month is going to be a telltale of where our people were at. And this is where delineation ain't just delineating from the damn tethers, it's delineating from them too. Like, you got to separate mine from yours. I ain't fucking with you. Like, for real. I ain't fucking with you. I mean, that right there, he could have walked off right there. He could have ended the whole State of the Union right there after he did that. He could have kept it pushing. There you go. And you know he talking to us, right? You know he talking to our people. It ain't the white people. White people is okay with where they at. They know why they Democrats. These niggas don't know why they Democrats. And outside they want to stuff their pockets. Anyway.
Hey, my fault, bro. I didn't hear. My fault. I was in the bathroom.
No, I said delineation just shouldn't stop at tethers. I mean, we need to delineate.
Nah, but we always called out our so-called. Thank you, Mom. We always called out our boule and our bougie and our backstabbers. We always did that. You know what I'm saying? But we still can't turn away family as family without aggression. This shit is sad.
All right. You need to expound on that one. Family is family. Okay. I need you to go. That's not good enough for
Like
me.
when make sure I say that right. All right, like I like it, whether you good or bad, you still black. Like when the Italians do something wrong, they don't go against their own in public. They might be ashamed, but they're like, damn, man, that's ours. You know, as much as I don't like these bougie motherfucker, they ours, but I don't think too many people in Congress and all that shit and all the people over there, I don't think they black. I don't think none of them black. Very few.
All right. That was you that put that message. Yeah, this Zoom ain't no good for YouTube. No good. That was you in the thing. All right, so let me
Yeah.
let me let me ask you a question. I mean, let me tell you what my mindset is. And I don't know where it came from, but I would cut off my own children if they cross me. That's my mindset. I mean, even if my mom and my daddy like got to a point where they was just that raggedy, I would cut them off. Self-preservation, my brother. First commandment. So
I ain't saying you right or wrong. All I'm saying, I don't think it's that easy when you're dealing with poverty and and people that's in bad economic and family state and they have military mental games and physical games and drug games put on it. So I'm agreeing with you because me and my son on the outs. And we ain't even on bad terms. We on the outs. But at the end of the day, I always say, thank God, Taj Tariq, my teacher, man. You got to come at this shit with love sometime. Without aggression, man.
so under the circumstances, this is I like you said that because my main thing is I want to sit down and have a conversation before I cut them off or before we just blast them out. We need to get a clear idea where their mindset is at. Like when he made that one statement, you might hate his guts, but when he said what he said about saving children and American people and protecting American people, and you don't stand. You got to explain yourself. So when you walk up out of here, or it was that just theater, and you actually going back doing something for your constituents, for the people you represent, or are you really serious about that?
It saddens me, like I said, that the majority of black people, I ain't say the majority of black people, I said the majority of the majority still fuck with them Democrats hardcore and more mad at Trump. Like, how can you even be mad at Trump? Like, have you seen what the Democrats have did to us in the last since my grandma's era?
Right.
That make me like I can't even hate white people for that, bro. I like bro, bro, that's all on us, man. Nobody could be that stupid, bro. I digress, man.
Fucked up thing about it, like nobody can be that stupid, but seem like they that stupid, like they just pawns, puppets. That
No,
you
I
know what I
figured it
mean?
out like when Trump came in office. I figured it out. Like I understand that there's racism in America. I understand there's racism in the world and people don't like people. I understand that. Because what the fuck? Oh, that's because I don't like certain races. But I understand why people really don't like black folks. It ain't racism. I promise you it ain't now. I really fully it ain't racism, bro. Not aggression.
Now we talking. Now we talking. But enough of this. Did you see the other part? I was trying to find the part on the income tax. See what he said about the income tax and stuff?
Nah.
Yeah, he said he changing all that up. Man, let me find it.
Yeah, I seen that, but I was more only thing I'm mad at about what he did, he diverted, like, I call him Uncle Trump.
Mhm.
I don't get into politics, I'm a nigga. I didn't even know we could vote. But I call him Uncle Trump because he said he was going to do certain things. And I have faith that I don't have faith in politics, but I have faith that he was going to do certain things. He fucked up on them certain things. And at the State of the Union, he did not mention them Epstein files, and he did not mention giving us no money. So, I mean, unless all these things that he's doing that's wonderful for all people in America, especially the youth, because all this stuff he's doing it for us. I ain't saying he ain't doing it for us, but I'm still greedy and I want some money, bro. Out of aggression. My fault. My message was he didn't talk about the stuff I wanted him to talk about.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
And what's more important than your elders getting they Social Security money up, income tax, he trying to get rid of it, housing, where he about them investors and all them foreigners, getting them up out of here, you know, making it happen for American people who he said in so many words, the ones that are not being able to get that, people trying to buy houses and getting cut off by these investors. Those are the three things I need to hear. That's tangible right there. I can mess with that.
I gotta agree. Gotta agree.
That's all about money, man. Money, wealth, generational wealth, investment. Like I said, I don't know how long you've been up here, but I said go to your state chartered bank, go online, look up all the state chartered banks in your area. Those are the ones that's issuing out these HUD funds. And pretty much all you need is like a 580. If you get like between a 580 and a 680, that's how much money they put down. I was told you up 630 to 680, man, they'll give you 60 grand down payment on a house. So that means you can get like a $300,000 because usually it's like 3%. You know what I'm saying? You get a 300, like a $500,000 house based on what they consider to be the poverty line. And the poverty line is not as low as people think it is. Like I was saying, I think the poverty line in California is like 85, $90,000.
My God.
That's considered to be poverty, Root. Those are the
I
things you
thought it
need
was
to check
30,
out.
but I looked at it a long time ago. I thought poverty was under like when you pay taxes. When you make under that 20,000, I thought that was when you hit poverty.
No, that's less than poverty.
See, I mean, I ain't saying you wrong, but my name root words. So just me and my dude got in an argument about that yesterday. Like, I can't say a person is right or wrong. They just got to understand. Poor and poverty is two different things. Poverty is when you can't make it. It's over for you. You might not could buy a pack of gum, man. You might not could buy no toilet paper. It ain't funny, but yeah. That's why I was like to say that poverty line. I ain't saying it ain't under 100,000, 80,000 in California because that's a lot, but that might be. Then if that's the poverty line, Jesus.
Yeah. And look, the other thing is that you can actually get a property in California on a first-time home buyer HUD loan, and the property could be worth $700,000. How about that? Man, trying to tell you. So that's why I say check those things. Because if you never actually got a HUD loan, first time home buyer loan, you can get that. Man, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna have to put no money down. If you're gonna put some
Do
money
HUD
in,
be selling their loans to
huh?
do HUD sell their loans to other lenders?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the loan I want. If I ever get a loan, that's
That's
the
what I'm
mortgage I
saying.
want.
They all doing it, but I think it's gonna stop. With him talking about them investors doing all that and stopping them investors from buying up all that stuff, that's he might be stopping that. But you can't watch
Nah,
everything.
really, what they doing? You got to really look at it, bro. Let me make sure I say this right.
Mm.
What happens when you don't pay? When there's no property tax?
It go to tax lien foreclosure, depending on a certain type of years.
Nah, it means that everything's in the private right now. You own it, bro.
No, that is not what
When
that
you don't
means.
put a tax on something, that's saying
If
you
you're
own
not
it, bro.
no, if you're not paying property taxes, then and they sending you a tax bill.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said if they end, okay, maybe I
Uh,
said it wrong. I'm saying it like this. Maybe my fault. If they end in land tax, property tax, what that mean?
yeah, that means you free and clear. No liens, no encumbrances.
Why are they doing that shit?
Doing what?
Like in Florida and certain places, like a lot of states, that's what Trump really talking about. Like they clearing out all these taxes, bro, and I still don't understand it because you heard him say damn near everything in the private right now. And my understanding of that, fucking around with the Moors, which means that they getting out of probate. They flying over probate. See, I'm looking at it on a bigger scale. Like I don't understand what scale I'm looking at it on, but I understand the language.
Okay, I never looked at it from that angle.
Yeah, and like I say, I don't know. I don't have all the pieces to the puzzle figured out, but I know they talking about taking out probate, bro. Only way to take out probate is to go through them taxes.
Right.
See, this shit getting deep. And they saying Florida the state to go to right now because there ain't no land tax. Some
Right.
weird shit, and I don't understand all this shit, man. I just know he threw out there. This is the first time in history. I forget what he said where everything was done in the private. I said, damn, they just cut out the public motherfucking probate. Hmm. And I'll be the first to say, I don't understand what that means, but I understand. I mean, I'm the first to say I don't understand what they're doing, but I understand what it means. They cutting out probate. They cutting out a lot of these
I
judges.
mean, you can't cut out probate. They cutting out
Hmm.
probate?
When
Hmm.
a person died and they owe taxes on the land, if nobody comes get that, pay them taxes on that land, or nobody, they don't have no heirs, what happens?
Uh, if it has no heirs, shit, the county, the state, the county get it.
Yeah, see, you ain't going far back, and you forget that all this stuff started off our land in the early 1800s with deeds and titles. See, you got to start from the beginning and then go back to the beginning and understand what this shit means. We
Right.
can't start from the 1900s and say we know what this shit means. You got to start from 1860s when the first land deeds and titles was made. They did it with the taxes, and that's how they took our shit. They did it just let them niggas die off.
Right.
So that's what they're doing now. Except for they're putting our land in what? What they putting with our land in if we don't know how to get it?
Mm. Okay.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. See, these probate courts Whoever run that shit got our land. Now whoever fucking with Trump, now they trying to say, look, man, we gonna supersede most of this shit. We flying over your train, my nigga. And we flying over your tour bus. And I could be wrong. That's just my analogy of this on the major scale is, man, this shit talking about property. This shit talking about land. And nobody can own land. All you can do is control it. And the cities and the states control it through taxes. And the only way to cut them cities and states out is put all that shit into a private trust. And that's just sound like what Trump is doing, but I might be explaining it a little wrong, but I'm on the right road. I digress.
Check this out, man. I found this shit in California. I'm like, if this is going on in California, if they did this, this is like 2018 or some shit like that. Check this out.
I mean, just hold on for one second. I apologize. Just right before you do that, let me just, Aton, if you hearing what I'm saying,
Yeah.
because this is borderline your lane.
Uh-huh.
When we talk about sovereignty and 9/10 of, there you go, 9/10 of the law is possession. And this is especially in California. This shit is running rampant in California.
Right.
9/10 of the law is possession. And now we're talking about property. All we got to do is act like them, bro. It's called transferring wealth. You go through a court, you tell the lower motherfucking people that they can't have it, now it's yours, and prove that this belongs to you. That's the only game they're playing us. Is one of them old time dudes back in the day, them rich motherfuckers, I think it was Warren Buffett said, own nothing, control everything. Because he knew the secret of America. They don't own shit, they just control it. And the smartest person is going to stay in control, and that's what Trump is doing. He's there. He's privatizing everything. And I think it's all we could do the same thing. Same thing. I already told you, you had the blueprint. You just got to think on a different level. You got to think like, shit, man, you a sovereign. Only reason I ain't doing this shit right, the only reason I'm not all the way on that shit right now, because I be still studying the shit a lot, is because, man, oh my God, these rooms I got, man, they're about to set me and my family straight. So in like another month, man, I'm probably going to be trying to jump into one of them cribs, bro, and I already done show people, bro. In every city, you got an auditor's office, you got a clerk of courts, you got a, or you can look up everything. You can just look up a person. Just find a name, find the address. You can look up everything else about them motherfuckers. And it got the bank. And if that bank mortgage got sold and that house is fucked up, man, you could be a sovereign to that property because you are 9/10 of the law in control of that bitch. And that's what Trump is cutting out. Like you said, he cutting out all these weirdos coming over here being a squatulating crackers, which they call banks, and all them weird motherfuckers squatting on our land. See, we got to look at the big scheme of this. Ever since the rule of the kings, which I call the coronavirus, see, I could take this shit further back. This was a fight of the kings, because that's what you call the corona, is the crown. This was a war of the crowns. It looked like at the end of the day, this is still war corona going on around this bitch. This is still war crowns going on around this motherfucker. And it looked like the WHO got their ass knocked out of place. It looked like the Democrats got their ass knocked out of place. It looked like the Middle East is losing. They just got pumped up out of all their shit. Now they shit turned into a fiduciary dollar. They shit ain't worth nothing no more. We getting oil from Venezuela and motherfucking America. China looked like they on their last brick. It looked like the only two motherfuckers standing. Europe is fucking falling. The only person left is America and Russia, my nigga. Canada getting punked out. Mexico turning into motherfucking the Gulf of America. Shit, Trump dropping bombs on every last big time drug dealer there is. So what I'm trying to say, this is still the war of the crowns. And I could be wrong. That's just the way I'm looking at it. This is the war of the corona. La Corona. Guerrera. Yeah. La Corona Guerrera. The crown war. No. La Guerrera, the Guerrera Day, the La Guerrera Day
You stupid.
Corona. Yeah, it's the war of a clown, nigga. And I hope Trump win. And he don't like black people. I ain't saying he hate us, but shit, we Americans. I don't think he's going to give us a check, man. I hurt my feelings with that. He hurts my feelings with that. He ain't talk about no check for no white folks, for no black folks, but he talk about if you an American, you about to come up and work, and you're gonna be all right. So, hey, we getting something. Shit, I digress, man. Thank you for letting me spill that.
Yeah, I mean, you gave me some clarity now. All right. Now this is interesting. Now this is California. That's why I put that thumbnail in there. This is different.
Session of the Reorganized California, and I'll tell you, this is a historic moment. And I'll explain a few reasons why we are doing this in public, because it's not a secret. We are as transparent about what we are doing as possible. We are saving this country. We are saving this state. We are saving the world. And we know it. Now you're all going to find out in the years ahead the significance of this day. The process to get to this point has been
Hey,
long.
True Zone up here?
Question about it. We've been doing this for 8.5 years.
Yeah, True Zone up here.
My nigga, I'm about to come over there. I've just been in a good mood. Man, that's my nigga. I'm about to shoot him $10, $20. I fuck with True Zone. My fault for cutting your show off. I just fuck with my nigga, man.
I heard you
I
up
fuck
there.
with True Zone.
Let me hit that panel real quick. I'm trying to figure out where you been at, nigga.
I just been out the way, man. I've been doing good, man. I'm gonna come over there just for you. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna come over and say what's up. Just I don't be wanting to spoon no negativity. You know what I'm saying, man. But I love you, bro. Pause, my nigga. I digress. My fault, Aton.
My nigga, root word. That's what I'm saying.
you good?
Let's come to my backup channel. My main channel got struck down.
Put it in the
My nigga, I be in the bushes almost every day, bro. Just sometimes just my energy it ain't gonna match with everybody's energy. And I'm trying to be happy because I went through some shit and I'm just in a positive mood. But I fuck with True Zone. I'm gonna come over there and holler at you, my nigga. Thank you for
what's the backup channel?
True Zone 2. I told you I'm over there every day, bro.
All right, cool. You be in the bush. All right, cool. Yeah, all right.
I admit it, but my fault for cutting your show off, cutting the spill off, Aton. That's my nigga Truth Zone, though. I fuck with you though, brother.
For sure, my dog. Say salute to that nigga Aton. I put up to support your channel, nigga. I'm gonna mute up too.
Hey, appreciate you, True Zone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Years. We declared our Declaration of Independence on January 15, 2018. From there, we had 13 constitutional conventions over 8 years. We built a constitution for the great state of New California. It's viable, it's strong, it's durable, it will be tested over time. We'll go to Congress with this, we'll negotiate with Congress, and you will find several things that this Constitution will represent. Number one, Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. We will provide for you a Republican form of government.
Man, I ain't heard nothing about this. Now, you know I get in this shit. I ain't heard nothing. This is 2018. I ain't never heard this. But we've been talking about it. That these changes were supposed to have been made. So, Callie listening. I don't know if you in the chat, Firekeeper. Hope you listening.
We will provide for you freedom from invasion. We will provide for you freedom from domestic violence. All things in the Constitution that the Constitution requires us to provide for you under constitutional law will be given to you by the great New California state. Members of government will be your servants. However, This is not a one-way road. You, me, all of us own this country. God has given us the right to be here. And with rights go responsibilities. And that's to make certain that government functions according to constitutional law. Everybody to this legislative session of the Reorganized California. And I'll tell you, this is a question about it. We've been doing this for 8.5 years. 8.5 years. We declared our Declaration of Independence on January 5th, New California. It's viable.
True word.
I hear you.
Did you hear that?
A little bit, but I'm not understanding.
Man, look. This right here is paramount. When I just don't say this is paramount for California, this is paramount for North Carolina, North America. Everybody follows California's prototype on how they run their government and how they deal with the people. Policy, everything. Foreclosures, property, all this shit. This is what I'm saying. Let me keep going on this shit. This is crazy.
Congress, and you will find several things that this Constitution will represent. Number 1, Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. We will provide for you a Republican form of government. We will provide for you freedom from invasion. We will provide for you freedom from domestic violence. All things in the Constitution that the Constitution requires us to provide for you under constitutional law will be given to you by the great New California state. Members of government will be your servants. However, this is not a one-way road. You, me, all of us own this country. God has given us the right to be here. And with rights go responsibilities. And that's to make certain that government functions according to constitutional law. Not law, made up, as I call it, swag, as you're seeing the end of the totalitarian dictatorship of Gavin Newsom right now. The death knell is here. The rattles are here. You can see it and hear it. He was at Davos. You can see what's going on. You can hear what's going on. And you can see what's going on with our economy, everything else. And we don't want to get into a whole panoply of things that have been happening to us. It all ends. The end starts tonight. We move forward. What we are doing is the same process that brought in West Virginia as a state. It says in the Constitution that we can provide for Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution if we decide to form a state from a pre-existing state. I thought that was just some sort of statement made by the Founding Fathers originally, but I have learned over the last 8.5 years that is not the case. What we have for a case here is the case that this Constitution has talked to us. Article 4, Section 3 has talked to us and said, wait a minute, when a state gets in trouble, what happens? The Founding Fathers said this. They said that they wanted to make sure that they were going to provide a Republican form of government, but that little tag word from Benjamin Franklin, if we can keep it, because republics in history have always decidedly turned democratic into democracies. It always comes to totalitarianism. That's the lesson learned with New California amongst the 50 states. So what was the provision in that? The Founding Fathers knew a high probability that one of their states could be in trouble and start to descend into a democracy. So what hope do you give to the people in a constitution as they descend into democracy for any avenue out? What hope? You give them Article 4, Section 3. Then what do? Well, you say, what's the other part of the instruction manual here? You know, I know that when you fly a 747, because I fly it all the time, of course there's an instruction manual, right? There's not an instruction manual that says, go here, young man, and find the answers. Well, sorry, there is. It's called the Bible. And there's also the documents that the Founding Fathers created themselves, such as the Declaration of Independence. And it talks about them declaring independence from England and all the things that befall a country that leads it to a tyranny. And they declare that if your country, if the United States or any part of it has fallen into a tyranny, then you have a right, you have a duty. You have a duty to recreate or throw off the tyrant and recreate a society that gives you the peace and prosperity guaranteed by the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution. So we have the right, when government fails, when government walks away from us, we have the right, we have the responsibility, we have the duty to throw off the tyrant, and we, the people, come together to create a new constitution that will provide for the benefits guaranteed to us all by God.
I didn't know they was talking like this in California in 2018. See, this is why that situation went down in 2019. You know what I mean? You know that situation? All the shutdowns. They had all this stuff going on. Because I don't know what was happening in Ohio, but I know in California, all the courtrooms are shut down. You couldn't even get up in there. So let's get on to the next one.
Get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. We gotta talk about it. We have to talk about it. Now, who 10 so-called African Americans took their behind down there and messing with them people in the courtroom, and they ripped these 10 defendants a new asshole, literally. Now, me reading this case, I was happy that they lost, but I was sad by reading it because they made them look like a fool, literally a fool. So I felt kind of like sad for them, man. I felt kind of sad for them, but this case is the best case. You got to read this case, man. Go right here and read this case. But I'm going to try to explain it, a little synopsis for you so you can understand what's kind of going on in this court case. Now, let me go to the outcome first. Let me go to the outcome and show you how they got embarrassed. So you see the outcome, but you can see right here, the lack of standing to sue for injuries to ancestors and the inability to identify Pacific enslaved persons linked to the corporation. So
what is going on with this chat, man? Ain't nobody in there. Nobody in there. What's all that about? Is it the Zoom room? The hell? What's going on here, man? I don't get it.
they couldn't even identify their ancestors or even a company because it was all a lie. And then another court case what got dismissed because of the same thing. But the case took so many turns in this court case. I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots. And in this court case, they actually said, I swear to God, if you can see this right here, they actually said the ancestors, right, would have not been slaves, but instead free laborers, and they would have had some disposable income, part of which they might have saved rather than spent and left to their heirs. So they said, no, your peoples weren't slaves. They had bread. And then
All right, so look, whoever listening so whoever listening, this right here is very important. And this is why I say, if you freely, let's say you was indigenous, you were an Indian, and when the United States came into play, you freely participated and pledged allegiance to the United States of America and for the republic for which it stands, and to the republic for which it stands. And you transferred your assets over there and then became taxable and enumerated or / counted by the United States as part of being a citizen, you get no reparations. You get no money. The only way you could do that is if you had an agreement, or if you have a land patent and didn't sell the patent to the state. Because if you actually go on BLM, which is Bureau of Land Management, not Black Lives Matter, you will see that there's only 2 entities that are on patents. That's individuals or people and the state. Now, if the state has the patent, that means somebody sold their lot or what they consider to be what their family had, because they really didn't own nothing. They controlled it. And that's what the land patent is all about. Control. Has some ownership after the fact, not during that time. Once you put the land patent in, that means you control, and that's your part of your area that you have control of or / own. Because control and own can be one of the same. You can flip those. So what I'm saying is, based off that, that's the only claim you got. Now you can actually get remedy based on heirs property, but we're not talking about heirs property. We're talking about the fact that you sold something or you decided to subject yourself to the United States. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people think they can get reparations based off slavery, but you can't get reparations based off slavery the way slavery is being defined. Now you can possibly get it based off slavery by another name. What is that name? I'm gonna leave that to y'all, but I already told you what it is. I showed you on the previous ones. But if subject to in slavery has been done in another form of fashion, and maybe you leased out maybe 100 acres of your 300-400 acres, or you leased out maybe 10 acres of your 150 acres, and they encroached up on the other side because those were boundaries, those your meets and bounds, or you would consider your plat, your lot, how it's described legally in a description, and the colorable title that was actually given to them. Then you get that, then you got something. But what they're coming with the claim of what you're saying is, if you see right here, Africa and black not winning. Just not winning.
And what's crazy, historical records identify around about 30,000 slaving expeditions sailing between Africa and the Americas over 300 years. 300 years. So you add 30,000 voyages over 300 years. That means.
And if anybody new up here listening, they ain't heard me before, if you cannot prove that your people was here at the inception of the United States of America, and you don't have the proper documentation of true ownership, you get no reparations. No restitution, no nothing. Because it's called you accept and you acknowledge and accept under your own free will to everything that's being done. Let me say it again. Your own free will. Accept and acknowledge.
Means that each voyage would have had to carry around about 400,000 on peoples on one boat per voyage over 300 years. Number don't even add up. Then they say, okay, well, it's only 300,000 only came to North America, right? Now it gets way crazier. It gets way crazier. So the plaintiff tried to identify, right? So who's the company that owned the slaves? They said only at least 2 of the defendants were slave owners. Only 2, right? Only 2. And one of the bank's defendants once accepted 13,000 slaves as collateral on a loan. Only 13,000, and it wasn't even their ancestors. Now it gets more crazier. When you read this case, it says that the government that we got now, we ain't even have that government. They talk. You read this case, it says that the government that we got now, we ain't even have that government. Slave trade treaty, I didn't even know they had a treaty. It says that the government that we got now, we ain't even have that government.
So wait a minute. We didn't have that government? There's the case right there. It said we didn't have that government. Let me go back a little bit further.
As collateral on a loan. Only 13,000, and it wasn't even their ancestors. Now it gets more crazier. When you read this case, it says that the government that we got now, we ain't even have that government. They talks about charters. They talks about the slave trade treaty. I didn't even know they had treaties. They ripped them niggas an asshole. Now what I want to do is pat them on the back and tell them, you've been here. The school system told you a lie. I just want to pat them on their back, man, and say, just say it. I was told a lie. I was told that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But if you'd like to donate $1, I greatly appreciate it.
Damn your $1. Damn. Wait a minute, man. That's a lot right there. That's a lot. So, root word. You wasn't paying attention? All right. I'm just saying. It's got some people in the chat that are not used to being here because I don't see nobody putting any messages in the chat. Maybe it might be the people coming over here from Barry Cunningham, seeing if I'm some type of weirdo or something. Don't worry about it, Barry. I'm gonna address some of the things you talk about too as well. Don't worry about it. But I like you. You got the right idea. You're just missing a couple points. And I'm gonna message you too. So when you know I'm going live, and I'm gonna address some of the things that you said, we're gonna deal with it. But it's gonna be constructive. You're an athlete. I'm an athlete. You play football, I play football. I play baseball and basketball. So we'll have a good dialogue. I like the way you got good discernment, good common sense. So don't worry about it. We'll talk about it. And tell your fans they can come up here too. And we can talk about it. If you know one thing about me that you didn't know before, is that I'm very diplomatic in my conversation. Slow to anger. Don't like trolling, but I could deal with it. I dealt with hecklers in the stand my whole life. So I ain't worried about it. Makes me focus even more. But if you subscribe to this channel, you go back and look at some of the things and what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to show you that even you not being from North America, that you're still an American and you have lineage, unless you could be what they call a tether and you have some mixture going on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So this is I'll just put it what the Timothy Hurdle et al. That's easier. I could just do that. Hurdle et al. 2006. All right, let's get on to the next one.
This is why the Grand Canyon is off limits. Grand Canyon Smithsonian, Egypt. Where do you think Egypt really is? This is for educational purposes only. Save this video and share this.
See, this is how you put the information out. They are not going to argue with this guy in the back. They're not going to argue with him. Only thing they can say that he's a Looney Tune, but they're not going to argue with that white boy in the back. I already know that. They ain't going to argue with that.
Video with someone you love, care, and respect, and I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comments section. Why are they hiding this history?
This was a few years after the initial expedition, and so this.
Hold on, man. Let me stop sharing it. For some reason, I'm not seeing the chat, man. What's happening? Hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. I'm not seeing the chat at all. No dang well. People are not just sitting there. I don't know what the hell. I mean, shit. What are the reactions? Hold on, man. Yeah, this shit crazy. Moderation activity will be shown. Community moderation participants. Bam. Yeah, it's just actually participants is only me. Interesting. I don't know. Know what's going on. I just gotta create settings. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if somebody struck this or what. Rupert, where you at, man? Where you at? We gonna relax for a second. I'm gonna play some music. Yeah, I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna make some calls. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's going on with it. All right, let's get back to it.
My fault. I'm back. I was on the line, bro. I was on the phone. My fault about that.
I was just tripping off when nobody typed in the chat. I don't know. Maybe because I played that video from that guy's channel. Maybe he put some blockage on it or something. I don't know. That was crazy. There was like 15 people, bunch of people up in there. And I ain't seeing nobody in the chat. All right, peep this though, Root.
Sometimes they might be listening.
Huh?
Sometimes they might be listening.
Yeah, they probably listening.
Went in there and, my goodness, took all kinds of pictures. And instead of going on down the river, they actually hiked up to the top of the rim and went overland from there to map that out. Okay, that's part of the unknown history of the early expeditions of the Grand Canyon. So we fast forward from the 1870s, when this information became public. It was kind of, the end of the 1800s, the early 1900s. The world goes to war, right? We have the Great War. At the conclusion of the Great War, a guy named G.E. Kincaid, who is an employee of the Smithsonian Institute, he's survives the Great War, comes in, and he's funded by Smithsonian to go back in and look for that lost cavern system. So Kincaid does that, goes in under the disguise of mineral exploration, prospecting, okay? and he locates the exact same Powell cave, goes in with his photography equipment, and brings out a massive amount of precious metal artifacts. Comes up over the top. He's so excited about what he's found, he makes a press release, and the local newspapers all front page headlines: amazing find in the Grand Canyon. News articles on my blog, which was all from, again, the Smithsonian Institute. Well, my blog was shut down and erased, actually, in December of 2019, okay? But that particular blog post, Terry, got tens of thousands of hits. It was a lightning rod. A lot of people, oh, wow, this is fantastic information, Doc. I just post them. So the question that people ask me is, where'd you get these pictures? Well, I had he's now deceased, so I can talk about him now. A friend named Dr. Melvin Laney in Washington, D.C. had high-level security clearance, and he had full unfettered access to the Smithsonian's archives. He sent me this information tied into to what I'm working in the property here in Utah. And I'll another story for another time, but it tied in, most definitely ties in, this story of G.E. Kincaid and the amazing discoveries at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. PowerPoint presentation to people who want to come and see this. I think it's interesting.
Smithsonian says now that never did happen, but you got into the actual archives. You got actual documentation.
It's an amazing, jaw-dropping story. Let me just give you some hints of what we're going to be showing. Massive amounts of mummies. And the big thing is, Terry, is there were thousands and thousands of panels of Egyptian hieroglyphics that have been interpreted. And what it tells the story of should rewrite all the world's history, frankly. Because it's
Hey, root word, you know how long I've been knowing this shit?
But you ain't making no sense of it.
Look, Alim Bey. When I used to fuck with Alim Bey, he had wrote like a whole. It wouldn't be considered a book, but it was like a book. This is one of the best shit, and I can't fucking find it, man. This shit was so cold. How he broke America down, it was retarded.
Yeah, Aline Bay a beast. I mean, he taught me something too, though. I just don't get. I disagree with him more than I agree with him, but he a beast. He taught me shit. He taught me that the Feds is from the Nez and the Nez Perce tribe. Yeah, he. I call him Dr. Aline Bay. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, y'all don't make sense of it.
But look,
like when y'all say,
how can you make sense of this?
No, I'm saying that when we say the word Egypt, where did that word come from? I'm saying the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not going.
Okay, so we saying that the author is the Bible, and it says this place is where 4 rivers meet, and the other place is right below them rivers. Am I on the right page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we saying this place, whoever is talking about this place is talking about professional plumbers, what you call army engineers. Okay, there you go. These ain't even plumbers. These are engineers. Are we on the same page?
Yeah, they're engineers. Yep.
Okay, so now when I look in Egypt, over there in Africa, I don't see no 4 rivers.
Me neither.
Okay, but just where Egypt is located in Africa, it makes sense that there's Egypts everywhere, and there always been engineers everywhere, because that river that Nile River starts in the middle of Africa, and it goes to the Mediterranean Sea. Are we on the same page as that?
Yeah, it goes that way.
Okay, so Egypt is the adduct chambers. It's the depths. Because all architects know, or engineers know, and I'm not an engineer, but all engineers know water goes to the lowest place of your land and start making little puddles and lakes and, you know what I'm saying, reservoirs.
What do you think the Mediterranean Sea is? I mean,
Where all the
Nile Valley.
European water that's from southern European and the Appalachian Mountains and all the northern African water from the Nile River, and I think they got another river over there, it dumps out into the Mediterranean Sea.
There you go. Dumps out. So that means the Mediterranean Sea is not natural. It dumps out. Now, to make sense of this shit, right?
Now, I'm trying to say is, where are you taking the story of Egypt to?
Right here, where it's been.
No, I'm talking about make sense of it.
How can you make sense of this? I mean, this has to be like empirical. It has to be something that you can visualize. You can't make sense of it. That means you making shit up.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of us do. We know a lot of things, but we can't make sense of it and paint that picture perfect painted. I got to use some Tupac shit on that. Now, what I'm saying is, I'm going to take that story from Egypt over there and put it to all places in the world where there's rivers that connect to seas. That's a art or training everywhere. But there is no 4 rivers over there. So, see what I'm saying? I just don't just listen to people and say, this is what I believe. I have to make sense of it. So now I'm taking the story from Africa, Egypt, and saying there's no 4 rivers over there, even though they had engineers over there. You know, shit, fuck with them rivers. You go, and then fuck with them seas. You're going to have some engineers around this bitch. So I'm not disrespecting them, but I'm taking Egypt to a higher level like these people are doing, but I'm not running my mouth. I'm going to say Egypt, according to the Bible, where the story comes from, said there's 4 rivers, like the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, the Missouri River, and the Illinois River. And they all connect at Cairo. And guess what sits right under Cairo? Memphis. And guess what sits all around the Mississippi River? A big ass garden where you could plant any type of food you want. So see, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just trying to make sense of it. I digress.
Okay, so now you see how important Genesis is. Genesis.
Now, I understand.
Okay, so
yeah, now I'm asking, can you make sense of it?
Old Testament is. That's how important the Old Testament is, because the Old Testament is paramount in understanding all these things. So if you can put it so graciously as you just did, then why would you need it to make sense to you? Or you saying what you're saying based on your research, you don't believe what you're saying?
Okay, now we got to go to a time where, and this is just in that late 1800s. See, I'm about to get to the Grand Canyons, but people can't make sense of shit and synchronize it. Now, I just put everything to a river knowledge. Everything. And I'm saying that happened in Jesus' times, in the 16th through the 1800s, when we was transferring walking on water to getting automobiles and locomotives. But we wasn't to the 1800s in this story right here, and the Grand Canyons and the rivers. See, I ain't got to the Grand Canyons yet, but I'm trying to make sense of it. So when we was dealing with the waterways, which was our natural ways of going back and forth, in every law in the world, it starts off with the ebb and flow. And that means when your river is flooded and when your river is at its lowest point. But now we get to the Grand Canyon. Now we get into these canyons. There's over like 5,000 canyons in the world. And the Grand Canyon is the third biggest in the United States. It's not even the second. It sits lower on that shelf. And all Grand Canyons and canyons was toilet bowls and sinks, which we call reservoirs and dams in ancient times, to hold the water when the water was in this flow. Now I'm putting law with this. When you're looking at law, when water is in its flow, it means it's over flooded, and you got to take that water and put it somewhere. That's why every time you look at a dam, that motherfucker is flooded. That it has toilet bowl rings around it. It has sink rings around it. It has ocean rings around it. Some canyons you find shark bones. Some canyons you find, goddammit, not tiger bones, but whale bones. Some, you find everything in the ocean and rivers in these dams, but y'all can't make sense of it. And then that's when we get to the caves that take you to the underground aquifers and rivers that are clogged up. And thank you for letting me run my mouth. I'm just trying to make sense of it, not aggressive.
Okay. So the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is very, very, very important. That's how you know it. Once you get into the Grand Canyon, you're gonna know that that's where you're gonna know all the pyramids. You're gonna know there's pyramids everywhere. I mean, the Grand Canyon is pretty much gonna tell the story of the world, pretty much in a nutshell. Everything else was able to be covered up. For some reason, I don't know, where the Grand Canyon could not pretty much, the only way they could do that was kind of box it off where it was unable to be infiltrated and destroyed because it's there, it's down there. But you see, when you at the top, you're looking all the way to the bottom. That's, I don't know how many miles you're talking about from the top to the bottom, or feet. That you're looking at a lot of different generations on top of that they built on top of that. For some reason, they could not do that. That was my only question. Why didn't they do that to the Grand Canyon? Why'd they leave it up there like that? You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Like, you can't, I mean,
They did that
see,
to the
that's why
other
I try to
mountains.
say it's hard to talk to the masses. And it's not rude. It's just that y'all can't make sense of it. Like I just made the most craziest analogy in the world.
How is that
Even though
crazy?
I backed it up with a lot of fucking sources and reference points that I could, that's just on the top of my bag, at the tip of my tongue.
But hold on,
Ain't
hold on,
saying
hold on,
I'm right, but we
hold
gotta
on,
start making sense of my fault.
hold on. How is it crazy what you brought up?
I
That's
mean,
what
I
I'm
know it
saying.
ain't crazy, but
That's
to
why
some
I asked you,
people,
do you really believe what you're saying? That's what I'm saying. If it makes sense to me and I don't cut you off or don't argue that point, I mean it makes perfect sense. Makes
so
perfect
then
sense. It's all good.
you might have to look at the other six canyons in each state. Each state in America has at least 6 canyons that is connected to these big ass caves. That's connected to these rivers. That's connected to these underground aquifers.
Okay.
Then we got to look at the top 2 canyons in America called the Devil's Canyon and Hell's Canyon. That's like the double size of Grand Canyon. It's right on top of it and right below it. Like, these was old mechanisms. And then I forgot to put in there the dumbs underground,
Yeah, I know what you're
underground,
talking
whatever the
about.
fuck that is.
I already know what you're
That's
saying. Go
connected
ahead.
to the Grand Canyon. See, all this stuff was an ancient technology. Am I saying I'm right? No, I'm just making it make sense. And then I'm putting the tectonic plates with this, and how to make the ground shake. Nobody has ever went 7,000 miles in the ground and seen no tectonic plates. That's a mythological tale some motherfuckers made up. Because you can't go down that far and ever see some Teutonic plates. Nobody knows about that fake ass shit that nobody has ever seen. Nobody has ever come halfway to a Teutonic plate because that shit is hundreds of miles down. And you can't get down that far. There's too much pressure down there, according to them. So their whole mythology, to me, is a myth. What really happens is these Duns underground fucking caves and everything, when all the sulfur and all these rocks get together with water and crash up against the wall and the pressure don't let it go to where it's supposed to, shit about to shake around here. And that's what we're coming to right now in the days of God, if that's the right word, the creator of whoever created this shit. They want their fucking rivers back flowing right. They want this menstrual cycle flowing right. And that's what we're going through.
None other than the biblical Joseph of Egypt and his history.
Wow.
Yeah, big time wow. It's exciting. Well, even religionists are saying, well, that's a real stretch. Well, why? It proves the Bible and the story in Genesis of Joseph to be true. The coat of many colors being sold into Egypt. It answers the question, really. It was more than just a deal with Potiphar's wife that elevated Joseph to be the most powerful vizier, and second only to the Pharaoh himself. It tells the story of how he ascended to, and why he was able to bring all the grains and survive the famines that went on. It's all in the history of this cave in the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
So this is why the Grand Canyon is off limits. Grand Canyon Smithsonian.
That's impossible, bro.
How?
Because Mary is the Grand Canyon. Egypt isn't the Grand Canyon. There isn't a story that could put the Grand Canyon with Egypt. Egypt had flowers. Egypt had a garden, bro. There isn't a garden in the Grand Canyon.
Answer me this question. How far is it from Tennessee to Arizona?
Okay, I'll split 3,000 miles, maybe 1,000 miles, 900 miles, some shit like that. 700 miles, some shit like that.
It ain't that far. From California to Texas, it's 18 hours driving.
I said, okay, so how long is 18 hours driving?
18 hours driving, you're looking at, about maybe 700-800.
Okay, so shit, it's like 1,000 miles from Tennessee to motherfucking Arizona. 7,000 miles, I'm just estimating.
Okay. So when, we don't know this. We don't know the answer to this question, but my question will be, when they walk, right? When when his brothers walked during the famine, they came into Egypt. How long did it take them to get there? It says how long it took them to get there. You see what I'm saying? The connection of everything, how people was getting from place to place. People say they were walking, but was they really walking? That's all I'm saying.
So you saying these people went through famine, and when they walked and got their nationality in America, that's what it was called Egypt?
Egypt is a adjective.
Now see, Aton, this is what I'm trying to say. Y'all can't make like the majority of people I talk to, that's why I have to take a break. And I'm not saying I'm right, but y'all can't make sense of what y'all saying and paint a picture of it.
But here's the thing. This is why you get frustrated. Because you want somebody to make sense of what's being shown.
Yes, in their own way.
Okay, but languages flow in different directions. So you can't really take Egypt to be Egypt. It was actually called Egypt? No, it wasn't called Egypt. Maybe it was called Egypt. But that's not the point. We're talking about location. Real estate is dealing with location, location, location. Fuck what it's
Okay,
called.
make it make sense putting Egypt in America. Make it make sense.
Okay, now, I'm glad you asked that question. If you actually look at most of the places here in America, they all reference what's in the Bible. None of the other places in any other part of the world have these names. Number two, the names that you see that they mention of the people, we are the America's only ones that have these type of names.
Aton,
Do I need to go any further?
this is
Now
why I try to say,
I can actually show you that we actually speak the Hebrew language. We just don't know we speaking it.
Aton, this is why I say all. I put the all there. All y'all drop the ball. Because y'all believe in something. I think because y'all believe in religion. Y'all dropped. I asked you a simple question.
Ain't got nothing to do with religion. What is
And I
Biblio?
fuck with you, Aton. Well, I'm saying, I'm like, if a person asks me, how can you put Egypt to America?
What is
Bro, I
Biblio?
just told you. There's only one way to do it. There's only one way.
What does
Go to the
Bible
source.
mean? What does Bible mean?
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Y'all trying to make up something and you can't do it
It's
good.
a book. That's all it is. It's a book, man. That thing ain't got wings,
Aton,
ain't flying around. That shit is a book.
Aton, the story of Egypt comes from the Bible.
The story of Egypt does not come from the Bible.
Where does the story of Egypt come from, my
The
brother?
Bible doesn't have a story about Egypt. The Bible references Egypt. But how they reference Egypt is a totally different thing.
Now I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Because I said that Egypt comes from the Bible. Can you name any other book that talk about Egypt?
So you telling me that everybody that references Egypt is referencing Egypt based off the Bible?
Yes. The author of Egypt, the author of reference in Egypt.
Or are they using the Bible as a reference point for them to create a narrative from somewhere else and move it to a different location?
Now see how when I say all again, drop the ball, bro.
There's no ball to be dropped.
Did the Bible bring Egypt or not?
Yeah, it mentions Egypt.
Okay, so we got to stand on the Bible then.
Okay.
Okay, so now we all got to say that the Bible is the one. Okay, the Bible says that Egypt is talking about 4 rivers that sit over that connected Cairo, correct?
No, it don't say Cairo.
What does it say?
Don't say Cairo. See, you wanted to make this a Bible talk. I don't want to make this a Bible talk. We're talking about
I know you want to make it a belief.
locations. No, not a
I know
belief.
you want to
I'm
make
talking
it a
about
belief.
location. We're talking about
You
location.
want to make it a belief,
No.
and you can't stand on your belief.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, you don't believe what you're saying. And then you can actually go back and say if you don't believe what you say, then you're actually believing that there was a West African slave trade and that Egyptians was white.
I don't say that in the Bible.
But it sounds like you might as well go there with it.
Now, how can we go from the Bible to the slave trade, and then I try to get it back to the Bible, and you want to go to some bro? Why do y'all drop the ball like this every time?
Look, that guy that's talking behind him is the same complexion of people that actually created Egyptology and archaeology to change locations of where things actually originated from. See, this is where people get to falling under the Bible where they get spooked. We ain't talking about the Bible. We're talking about a book. Bible is Latin for book. Biblios.
Bible means the root
Babel.
word is by.
Babel.
It means 2 or many. It means 2 or many books, my brother.
All right.
And see, that's why when I hear people talk about they understand the Bible, They got to go through Latin. You got to go through the root of the word because word is God and God is the word. So I'm nowhere near smarter than most men. Got a GED, a couple little certificates. I'm nowhere near the best fighter. Pause when I say this. I know I'm not the most handsome man can fuck nobody's bitch, so I'm in my right mind to say I think everybody come at the Bible wrong because they don't try to collect the word, bro. And all I'm trying to say is the Bible plainly says, my fault. Let me stick to that, my script, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
See,
don't get to taking off.
There
Stay
you go.
right
Yeah,
there
because
where
see,
you
you got
supposed
me
to be.
going too many places. But Genesis, that's not dealing with the Bible. That's dealing with the index or the apex, not the apex, the index of the Bible or the references. That should be in the back of the book. Because it's going to, and then when you get to all these other chapters in the books, like the Septuagint, the Septuagint, the Tanakh, all these are different little books that was just around in them times, and then it's added on. Because when you talk about the Septuagint and the Septuagint and all that shit, them was worldwide laws. And then when when more books got added onto it, that's when more kings and queens came around. And the last time the Bible was written was in the late 1800s, after World War II. I mean, after the Civil War. Like the Bible was history, it's many books put together. And I digress.
And there's plenty of the books that was written in the 1900s. New King James Version, New Revised Version, NRV, VRV, all these different type of versions that was written. Now, what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I ain't got to this part yet. But it's good you up here. I wasn't expecting you to come up here, so it's cool. What I'm going to do is we're going to get out of this spook in the sky. We're going to deal with the actual facts of
But
what
you're
you
talking
see.
about a book of the you're talking about the book of the sky.
No, I'm not.
Egypt come from the Bible.
No, it doesn't.
Where it come from?
Is Egypt a physical location to you, or is it an ID? Is it an ideal or an adjective, or is something describing something? What do you
I'm
think
plainly
these
going to stick to
states
my
got their?
guns because people in this community.
Where do you think these states got their names from? Where do you think root word come from? Root
Now,
word comes from the fact you call yourself root word because you deal with roots. These things are adjectives describing something. And
Egypt is a title, sir.
there you go. And what are titles? Somebody.
No, when I say a title, like when you go to, there you go. When you go to any down any street, no, any highway, any state route, you know what I'm saying, and you driving fast, you know what I'm saying, you ain't on the street or nothing, you on a highway. There's going to be a principle there. There's going to be a title there called the highway patrolman.
All right, so we agree.
And the people that come about that motherfucker, they have
So we agree.
titles.
We agree.
I want to land my plane so you can understand what I'm saying because
All right.
I ain't beating you in the head with what I'm saying, but I still want to get sense of what you're saying. So now I'm saying take all the cars away.
Okay.
All you got to do is go to 1890, 1910. We don't got to go that far back. There wasn't no cars. So the highway patrolman of the rivers was the Cairo, Illinois, was the Egyptians. Because everybody knew on the river, you got to come to the lowest part of the river to get to the next part of the river. It's a title, bro. Just means the bottom of the river.
Okay, so we
It's the
agree.
equivalent to saying you at the end of the road, bro.
Okay, so we agree. That's just what I said.
No,
That's just what I said. It's describing something. That's what I said. We agree.
See, y'all dropped the ball. You can't say it's describing something. What is it describing?
Look, there is no ball to be dropped.
I love you, man. All y'all do this though, like over a simple conversation, it goes super allegorical. Like, how can you
How
say,
you
well, it means something? Like, what if you
how
know it means something, Aton, what do it mean?
okay, so how are you able to beat how are you able to beat somebody else's narrative? The only way you can beat it is simplify it. This guy behind you, right? This guy behind this guy right here said that when they went down in there, they actually saw the stories on the walls. It's there. The pictures tell the story. Everything they're showing in Egyptology and in these other places, they actually took from the Grand Canyon. Whether the
Okay.
Grand Canyon was the central location, we don't know. But they actually put those stories right there, maybe as a place where it could be protected in that canyon. Just like maybe you see
Okay.
them
I'm
in
getting the
those other
story.
canyons you're talking about.
I'm
That's
getting the
all.
story of Egypt. I just want to make sure we're on the right page. I'm getting the story of Egypt from the Bible. That's where I thought it came from. And you said, okay, it references the Bible. And now you're getting your history from some Europeans that bought Egyptology in like the 1900s.
I'm saying that Egyptology stole the information. Where archaeology and Egyptology comes from, Egyptology is archaeology. Archaeological evidence of Egypt and what they consider to be ancient Egypt. Move it over there.
Okay, and the only thing they do is go in some cave and say, we found some paintings.
But they're giving it another location. That's what I was saying, location. I started off with location. You took me all over the place, man.
Okay, so now we're
Location.
narrowing it down that I'm saying that it means the depths of a river
This guy
where
said
all rivers
location.
come to a head, and that's at the low point. You're
This
saying
guy,
it's where some. Go ahead, my fault
this
for cutting you off.
this guy stated location and what they found at that location, debunking what these Egyptologists has been talking about, where Egypt actually is, where these
Okay,
pyramids,
so you're telling me
where these writings, where these
why do y'all
these
do
these
this, man?
these pictures on these walls, carved in the walls. They saying it wasn't over there; it was right here in the Grand Canyon.
You're saying the only evidence you have is the same as paintings that is scribbled on the wall. And then
No,
you're going
that's
to
not what I'm
say,
saying.
I'm just want to land my plane. I want to make sure that we on the same page here because you dogged me talking about fuck the Bible. I said, cool, my nigga. I just want to see where I want to get your understanding. So you telling me I should say fuck this Bible and believe some Europeans that say Egypt is in the fucking Grand Canyon because we found the painting over in this motherfucker?
No, what I am saying is that I'm going to go with somebody that actually saw the physical location that can actually give some type of evidence and credibility to the Bible, because the Bible has no credibility right now.
Okay, so now me and you now I just want to make sure we on the foundation. I'm saying, and you agree with me that the Bible is the place that references Egypt first. And then like 100 years later, some Europeans called some Egyptologists said, we're going to narrate this story through paintings that we find on walls. Am I right or wrong?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then what other sources do they have except for paintings on walls?
We know. We both went to Baptist church. We know that the Bible is about a couple of things: turning the other cheek, praying, and communion, and putting some money in the plate. And you'll sin, and then you beg for forgiveness. Now, I know I'm being funny, but what I'm saying is that we know that Bible to be true based on, or have some relevance in our life based on us having to go to church. Now we're how do I say this? We are finding information that we could put our finger on and touch.
Aton,
That's what I'm saying.
you're saying that fuck what the Bible say.
No,
I'm not mad at
that's not
you.
what I'm
See, because
saying.
that's how I'd be if I could
That
back my
is not what
evidence
I'm
up.
saying. It's not what
You
I'm
are
saying.
saying that.
What I'm saying is that the Bible did not have, did not have credibility in regards to actually putting your finger on something you can touch. Because all the places that they consider to be where it was at are desolate.
Okay, so you're saying fuck my evidence because it don't, and I don't agree with you that it don't have no physical that you could touch. And you're saying we're gonna go with some Europeans that's saying that they found a painting in a cave.
Like I said, Aline Bay had wrote a book about that shit. I mean, he had a nice book that he did a long time ago. And he was actually referenced that, and he had pictures. That's when that nigga went silent. After he put that shit together, that nigga went silent. And then he just
See, if everybody could do this,
recently just started popping up.
we'll get further. See, and it seemed like y'all know too a little bit. Like you're going off a painting. A painting.
These are not paintings.
There's some
These are
Europeans that we
etched.
found inside of a cave.
No, these are etched in stone, and these aren't Europeans found in caves. What are you talking about, man? You want me to play it again?
I'm gonna say it one more time. These are
Maybe you're doing
paintings
something
in
else. I see you
caves.
was. I hear you eating, so you probably cooking and had one ear on the stove and one ear on the video. Now, this is more confirmation for me than anything else because I've heard these stories 20 years ago. I've been knowing about this stuff 20 years ago. I mean, I got atlases, I got all different type of shit. It's just about location. This is why everybody will fight and say that the Fertile Crescent, garden, and all these things that is talked about in the Bible is not in America. America is the new world. It was desolate, nobody over here. So that's what we're talking about. But if you reference everything that's over here in America, it all has biblical names. And the names of some of these states and names that we have a ah at the end of it, which is considered to be Hebrew language. Ah. Waukesha,
Aton.
Lakeisha, Aton-Yah. We have these names.
Aton,
Aton,
where was the see Aton, you're bringing
Andre,
a your
Andre.
points in Hebrew on it, but you can't back it up.
I'm just
See, I
saying.
mean, and ain't nothing wrong with
Man, we all got
no,
biblical
you're trying
names,
to
god
like,
damn it.
bro.
We all got biblical names, man.
Biblical comes from Latin, it don't come from Hebrew.
Okay, so you telling me you ain't got a biblical name?
Yes, it's Latin, it's Lamar.
All
It
right
means
then.
deceit.
Okay.
I come from deceit.
All righty then. Now, are
Now
you
tell me the
telling me?
Hebrew name in it.
No, let me ask you a couple questions first. You punching on me kind of good right now, and I can't get it off. So let me get it back. Let me ask you a question. Are
Hold
you
on now.
telling me?
Don't say I'm cutting you
No.
off, man. No, I don't do that.
No, I say you punching on me pretty good, but it's cool. I'm receiving it. You making some good points, but what I'm saying is, and I don't want you to rush me. So I want to slow it down a little bit. So are you in agreement that these names that are now in America came from somewhere else, or did they originate here? Which one is?
I'm saying that the Grand Canyon is not Egypt.
Yeah, I figured you would duck that shit. I figured you would
And
duck. You hear him? You hear him? He
y'all have to
ducked it.
back up your statements
He ducked
on what
that
came from America. Like
question.
trains, planes, and automobiles and all the inventions came from America. When
Well,
y'all
yeah.
say all this stuff, y'all be saying y'all have no sources to back it up when y'all say Hebrew is in America. And you don't have no proof that Egypt is in America.
Okay. Hey, Nate, he ducked that question. Top of Goddess, he ducked that question. I asked him a specific question.
No, you should have asked me what comes from America.
You telling me I got to formulate my questions to your approval to be
I don't
answered?
understand.
All right then,
Come on.
sire. Sire.
Hey,
All right,
Tom, I'm
so
not understanding the
ask you a
question. I
question.
can't say everything comes from America.
You talk about a white.
There's
You talk
no
about
proof of that,
painting
Aton.
on. You talking about a painting of a white man on some shit. You just brought up a white man with some painting. All I'm asking you is this. I just made a statement. I'll reiterate it. I'm saying that everything we see in the Bible we can find here in America. So
No,
are
you
you
can't.
telling me? Are you telling me? Yes, we can. Are you telling me that all these names and all these locations with these names do not originate in America? They come from somewhere else.
Jesus, Joseph, Magog, Josephat, Abraham. I mean, the list goes on, bro. See, that's
They
why I
come from
try to say y'all dropped the ball because y'all
they come
cannot
from
put no.
somewhere
I'm gonna
else.
land my plane. Like, see, when we say Mary, Moab,
They
John,
they come from somewhere
Judah,
else.
no,
Let me
they
ask you a
don't. They come
question.
from America.
Okay,
Mary is
okay,
Maryland.
all right then.
No, you said
Okay.
everything.
Mm.
I'm not
No,
gonna say that, bro. Without
I
backing
did
that
not.
statement up.
I did not say that. I didn't say everything. I mentioned locations, names, and everything that we see here in America come from somewhere else. I didn't say everything. I said names, locations. Do they come from? Is that what you're saying? They come from
No, I'm
somewhere
not saying.
else.
I'm saying, and I stand on this that y'all dropped the ball because y'all talking allegories. I told you what came from America: Moab,
Isn't the Bible an
Mary,
allegory? Isn't the Bible
Peter.
considered to be an allegory?
No, not at all.
Oh shit. Boy, you double talking.
No, I'm not because I'm saying that Mary is America in the Bible. Jesus is either Canada or fucking England.
So you
Peter
saying
is
that these
Pedro, which is Mexico.
so you saying that these
Ishmael is
names,
Arabia.
all right, I get it. So you telling me that these names are based on nations?
There's no
And,
other way to
and
look at it unless you're crazy.
oh shit.
Now, see how easy that was for me to stand on it and you can't rebut it?
Look, you cannot say Jesus is Canada because there's no place, central location in Canada called Jesus. There is no central location in Mexico called Pedro.
It is.
There's
It's
no
Peter.
no. The only thing that you might have that could be close is Mary being beloved, but you're missing out on a couple other words that go with this. It's a
I'm waiting,
description.
bro.
Okay, Ty, Mary, the beloved land, or the people, the beloved people. Here's what I'm saying. You guys you don't understand language, man. You don't understand the language. And it's
Man,
all
come on,
in a
Aton. Man, we having a good conversation, man. Don't go there, man. We ain't on
all
Smoke
right, all
Channel,
right,
man.
all
We
right,
know my nigga
okay.
Aton.
I won't go there. Okay, so look, the language as it is, right? You can actually find where it says Ta Mary Ka, right? Ka is the body, right? Ta is the people. Mary is beloved, in between. Would you say amore? That's amore. Amor. You know what I'm saying? Amor. All these things is interchangeable. All you gotta do is just drop the vowel. You can add an O, E, A, whatever you want to call it. It's different. You can put a C or a K in that motherfucker. That's just what it is. You can say I or you can say ta. You can say ta or you can say ah, whatever it might be, depending on where you at and what language you talking. This is like the example I made the other day. People say straight, some people say straight. Some people say soda, some people say pop. Some people say here, some people say her. What's the difference? It's just a vowel, just a pronunciation. It's still the same thing.
Okay.
Ty Murray, Ty Mary.
If you put an HT,
America, America. What's the difference? It's just a U or E, or just how they even pronounce the E or the U or whatever. That's all I'm saying.
you know something I'm good at too? Admitting I'm wrong. Or
I know
admitting that, hey, maybe I need to just
nigga, that's
look at that
bullshit.
again.
You press the line. That's good. That's good. You good. That's why I like you. You press that line,
No,
nigga.
because when people say that, I hear that a lot. And when you say HT, like you put the H at the beginning of the word and T at the end of the word. When you put the vowel there, I, that means hit. When you erase that I and put A there, that means hat. So y'all gotta quit saying that shit. Y'all have to stop it. Let me have just 30 more seconds. I just need 30 more seconds. I started root words about 7-8 years
Take
ago.
all the time you need. Let me get this call in. Go ahead.
All right. I found all the root words, and I thought I was the shit. I didn't know about the 7 parts of speech. So I put in 7 parts of speech with root words, and I thought I was the shit. Then I had to find out about grammar. Then I threw in root words with grammar and 7 parts of speech. And then I thought I was the shit. Then it said, hey man, you got to understand what cognizance is. Man, the message of the story is just, man, it's dangerous to talk about subjects and you haven't studied them. It's dangerous. That's all I can say. It's dangerous. Like when somebody say Tom Mary, like just give them a grammar question like, what part of speech is ta? like every language in the world has grammar and parts of speech. It's crazy.
All right. Sounds good. But all I'm saying is we got to change our way of thought. Now, we can't be the older ones and still having these type of conversations because these young motherfuckers don't give a fuck about this shit, really. We got to tie it to something. We got to make it make sense, man. They actually know that they talk about it every day that everything that is the Bible to be, even though they don't believe in the Bible, is in America. So, in order for them to feel good about wiping their ass with that Bible, right? They have to be able to put their finger on something. So they rolling with that. You see how emotional these niggas be getting when you talk about that stuff. So I say
Why?
this. I say this. Our partner, Dr. Eileen Beck, when he put that shit out and I read it, I was like, wow. Never heard about, never anything. You know what I'm saying? For him to do that, that was unbelievable to me. But in order for me to accept it, that means I have to have the mentality that I don't trust nothing these motherfuckers say up in this motherfucker that got any type of face or call or representation or what they consider to be the authority in America. I don't trust nothing they say. So if anybody brings any different evidence, I got to be able to pull it in. Now, I'm not like you. I'm not going to really beat it up like that. I'll question it, but I'm gonna do my research first and see if it's bullshit or not. If it's not bullshit to me, if it make perfect sense based on how I know the Bible and how I know the atlases and the geopolitics and the demographics and the locations, that shit makes sense to me. That's all a man like me. Hey, root word. That's all a man like me need. This is what I'm saying. We get 30 more seconds. We get to
No,
a
my
place
fault.
where
Deal,
we
brother.
get no, you good, you good. We get to a place where once we get information, we want to be bigger than the program or the smartest motherfucker in the room. But at the end of the day, sometimes you still got to be a student. If that's the case, then I don't want to shut another nigga down based on what he provide me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So if anybody telling
Yeah.
me outside of what this motherfucker did that's supposed to have been my overseer telling me, man, fuck that. I'm rolling with it. I don't give a damn. I'm rolling with that.
So, like I say, man, y'all. It's hard for y'all to stand on anything, man. That's best I can say, cause y'all just. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, there you go. You got to be a student, bro. Yeah, I can agree on that. You got to be a student, shit. And I don't think none of y'all have students, bro. And what I mean by that is, I can say this right. Yeah, I have my own library. Like now, it might be on a one note, and I got 3 1 notes, but I did enough study where I done took everything I studied and took it apart and put it back together my way. Am I saying I did it all the way right? No, but I'm saying I'm well studied. I don't see people do that. I just see a person get a book or get somebody they like and say, "Ooh, he said this," and that's it. Can't even critique the shit right. Best I can say, shit. I'm glad I came into this shit as a Moor though.
All right.
It was just more discipline.
Okay. See, you talk about it more. Okay, so discipline. Okay, answer me this. What is the fundamentals of being a Moor?
See, I came in as a non-temple Moor, so the
You better be, you
fundamentals was
better be,
mine.
you better be careful.
No, I'm not, man. I stand on my teachers.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, there's only 2 Moors out here. There's
I
really
know
2.5
shit.
Moors, man.
I know this shit.
I don't. You don't. I'm gonna hold my breath. I don't think you really. Just you don't remind me of a Moor. But anyway, you remind me more of a sovereign citizen.
Mm-hmm. What's your fundamental?
Yeah, but a Moor is about nationality and divinity.
Okay.
It's about arm, leg, arm, head. Allah inside you. So that makes you God.
Sound like 5%.
It's about putting them women back in position, you know what I'm saying, to hold the matriarch. And I'm a non-temple Moor. I don't believe in that more science temple stuff.
What are you talking about? GD shit. That's GD.
Huh?
You talking about growth and development, GD?
Is you serious, bro? I'm a real GD. Real
Okay,
GD.
so,
Bro, more science temple don't have nothing to do with the GDs. Moore's right under the 5. GD's right under the 6, man. 2 totally different type of love, life, loyalty, man. No, hell no.
Okay. All right. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
GD didn't start off as GD. See, I started off as a GD. I started off as a growth and development. See, when I was in Columbus, we seen some of them gangster disciples come down there and said, thank God we don't have to be in Chicago no more. And we're around some different type of Midwest niggas. And we're going to do the growth and development thing. And they brought the teen scene to Columbus where all of us young guys and girls would go there and start dancing and crip dancing and folk dancing. But that's the first time we seen GDs in Columbus is they was growth and development. They didn't. Now we came with we still was under the BGD and there was BGD, MGD, IGD. And we was just GDs though. We was gangster disciples, but we really was taught under a different influence. Like we growth and development, my nigga. And we came late in the game. They was trying to tell us we was false flags, and we was like, we don't give a fuck, my nigga. We ain't no motherfucking gangsters, nigga. We ain't about to be gangbanging out here. There's a little war over that, my guy. Like a couple people went to jail for life. A couple people died over that. Them Chicago niggas came down there talking some shit, and shit went up in flames. Like shit. They went back to Chicago like them niggas GD.
So
yeah, that's what I'm trying. Real life GD, bro.
Okay, so
Shitty to the bang bang, nothing but a folk thing. All that wrote through my blood is that gangster blood. Nigga, I don't know, man. I can't believe I'll forget my prayer, but yeah, my nigga, real life gangster.
All right, so you telling me the Moor Science Temple of America didn't have any influence on the GDs after a certain point in time? There was no relationship.
I think that it would more be like, I would say the Vice Lords and the Mickey Cobras and whoever rose under the 5. No, the Moors right under the 5, bro. When that 11-point star broke, no, GD's right straight. Like They went with the Christians, if that's the right way to say it, or the Hebrews. We ride with King David, bro. Shit, the 6-point star.
Now, so you
But I
telling me
get what
that?
you're saying. It all rides
Okay,
under the
all
what's the
right.
right word?
That's what
They
I'm
all
trying to
have
get
the
to.
369 and the 180 degree.
Right.
So they under the same disciplines, if that's the right thing to say. I digress though.
Right. That's, you could call it the 12 tribes of Judah, 12 tribes of Israel. They still fall under that banner.
But I just think you might want to look at it a little like Vice Lords right under the Muslims, like that's the 5-point star. They right under the 5, my nigga. Yeah, and they take that serious. I don't know about now, but they took that shit serious when I was growing up. Like, no, we right under the 5. So it's impossible for a Moore and a GD to say they got anything from each other. That's an impossible task.
Mm. So back to my point. I don't want to get it too far away. Is your basic fundamentals of being a Moor takes you away from being a GD. Is that what you're saying? Or is it fall within the same lines? Food, clothing, and shelter, protection.
No, that's one thing. The first ride I ever was in DYS is the Crips was cracking on us. The Crips and Bloods was cracking on us. Like, nigga, y'all ain't no real gangs. And one of our governors over there, and he was a vice lord. He was I don't know if they called him governor, but I know he got with our governor. And they were like, look, we about to flip out on these niggas. So, because we did everything organized, you just wasn't allowed to fight out there. So we got organized and we start cracking. We had to do it organized. We start cracking them like, y'all gangbangers. We organize. And we start stacking on their ass and the war popped off. Me a little 13 and 16-year-olds, but that's the difference. We're not a gang, bro. We're organized, bro. You just can't go out there and sock somebody in they shit, my nigga. You will get beat the fuck up over doing some shit like that. I digress. That was one of our laws. Don't disrespect unless disrespected. I digress. That's why I liked it, because I wasn't a super tough nigga. I didn't have to go out here and be super tough. I just had to stand my grounds. Oh man, hell yeah. Be one of them tough ass gangbangers, gotta be out there fighting and being tougher than who the fuck you is. Nah, I'm cool on that. I ain't that tough. Be a
See, that's
GD
why
nigga. Fuck that.
that's why I give you a couple extra seconds because I know you're gonna bring something behind that. Now, let's get back to that, right? So you got 6-pointed star, 5-pointed star. 5-pointed star starts from a 6-pointed star. It's another ideology, just like Islam, uh, Hebrew, what I don't know what they Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, Methodism. You have all these different factions. Lutheranism, Calvinism, all these isms. Don't they have a foundation somewhere where it starts?
I had to agree with you that they still how they organize is the same. It's under the same understanding. They're just you can't say that one thing got one from another. They all started under 11-point star, if that's the right thing to say. They all started under the Peace Stone Rangers or the Black, you know what I'm saying? And then they broke off into their different little sections.
Like P stones, right? So, I mean, under the circumstances, you would say that there is a foundation where all of these ideologies, because only GDs going to deal with other GDs that want to be put on. They're going to come over there and challenge you. They're not going to cross paths unless it's necessary. Even they will actually, on the higher level, will do business with each other. So, under the circumstances, I just kind of wanted to quiz you on was the foundation of that. That was good. That was good. You on your shit, yeah. So if 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 we know, okay, based on this right here, and we spent a lot of time on this, but even this right here on the Grand Canyon, and they saying the Smithsonian has information, which we know Smithsonian has a lot of information on pretty much the world, and they're saying Egypt, and they should put quotes around Egypt being in evidence of Egypt being something in America through records in the Grand Canyon. Why can't we start right there and then break it down to get to the actual real words of what it really is? Why can't we do that?
Because you don't have nothing to stand on.
God damn it. Why you always do that?
Bro, do you understand the Grand Canyon is something bigger than what my fault? What I
How
could
much?
stand on the Grand Canyon. What I could stand on. I ain't saying I'm right. I like that because it's everybody bringing their own beliefs. I just think some people have more evidence with their beliefs. And I'm just saying, when we talk about the Grand Canyon, I said it once before. And not trying to say that I'm King Kong around here, no, the information, but there's two more canyons in the United States. One sits on top of it called the Devil's Canyon. One sits under it called Hell's Canyon. These two
Really?
canyons are bigger than the Grand Canyon and
Really?
connect to the Grand Canyon. And then there
Really?
are at least 6 to 10 canyons in each state.
Okay, really.
So whoever took the story, took the truth of connecting all these canyons with the caves and just took our minds and put it on one canyon, I say that's the problem. But I could be wrong and I digress.
All right, so one key thing I ain't gonna let you escape from is the fact that these canyons are connected, right? You talk about the deep underground places, right? What you would consider to be that, where they can actually travel through those things and connect. Just like you could travel above ground and get from one location to get from the East Coast to the West Coast, north to the south. You can get there by travel, by roadway. So if it's all connected, then would you consider that whole entire Egypt to be connected through all these other places? See, I would know you would get comfortable and slip up. You said all these canyons are connected, bro. So if you're saying all these canyons are connected, then your argument it loses.
Okay, first off, I didn't say that all these
Yes,
canyons is
you did.
connected, but
Yes, you
just let
did.
me land my plane, brother. But now I
Nobody.
am saying it.
Anybody.
I'm saying that the 100 canyons in the United States are connected to the hundreds of canyons in Mexico, South America, Africa, and Asia. I'm saying it's a universal thing called Catholicism. Now I'm saying it, brother. I digress.
Man, you just said that the Devil's Canyon and the other canyon, and they're all connected.
Okay,
But
now I didn't say that. I did not say that. But now I'm saying it for you, brother. Yes, all these canyons. That's over 1,000 in the world are connected.
okay,
There's over 1,000 of them.
so that means the quote unquote Egypt could be vast, more than just the Grand Canyon.
Okay, if it could be vast, what was the name of the people's title that was dealing with it? Do it start with an E?
Yeah, now that's the conversation. That's the conversation I need to have. I need to
Okay,
know
so
that.
we're dealing with ancient engineers around the world. Like I said, it wasn't just an American thing.
Was it an E or was it an I? An engine.
Okay, whichever way with your slick ass. I don't want no smoke. But when people disagree on information, it don't always have to turn to smoke. I swear it
Hey,
don't.
I'm like that. Hey, Ruber, I think you know me by now. I'm like that cat that can absorb a lot of punches. I can absorb a lot. I'm gonna come back. As long as I'm still on my feet, I'm gonna come back. But what I'm saying is that, it took us a while but we got to that point where we know that that connection, that Grand Canyon, goes a whole lot further than what people believe it to be. And I mean, somebody did a masterful job of like creating a hysteria and a confusion and all this shit. That's all I'm saying. Somebody did that. I mean,
Now
you got to
see,
give people credit. You got to give people credit because somebody was very sharp and masterful in what they did. And reverse engineering, right? This is what I call reverse engineering this shit. You know what I mean?
and see, I'm glad that I don't like that we're still in limbo. Yes, you said it perfectly. Let me rewind it all the way to the beginning. My brother said it. Whoever put our eyes on that goddamn Grand Canyon, yeah, well, it's bigger than that. That's I'm agreeing with you if that's what you're saying. I'm agreeing it's bigger than the Grand Canyon. And through proof that there's two canyons bigger than the Grand Canyon on top and below that motherfucker. And then in every state there's hundreds, in every country in every continent there's hundreds of canyons. So we gotta quit saying they re-engineered this shit and find out what did they re-engineer. And that's what I be doing. Ain't just saying that I'm right. I just be trying to make sense of their re-engineering. Like we all know they re-engineered everything. Now we gotta motherfucking make it make sense. And I digress.
Hey, look, that's what I'm saying. See, if you actually can balance yourself and not get over the top, you can actually get some information out of root work without him cussing you out. See that? See how I did that? Nigga didn't cuss me out not one time. He didn't get out of his pocket not one time. See, you gotta absorb, it's called KYP, know your personnel. If you let the brother talk and you absorb it, but you got to be on the level though. You got to be on the mental level. See, this nigga Root be playing dumb on y'all. See, when I asked him about that Morris and what he stand on the fundamentals, and we got to the GD, that nigga recited that shit like that's how you know that nigga 10 toes down. Now, the nigga can play this GDD shit all he want, GD, GED, the B. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Nigga solid. Now, let's get to this other thing. I don't know what this shit is. I got this up. I gotta finish this.
Influential men in American history requested a copy of a book, not a rare manuscript from Europe, not a scientific treatise, a rule book, a pricing guide used by carpenters in Philadelphia. He was refused. The Carpenters Company of Philadelphia, founded in 1724, told the former president that their rule book was for members only. It contained the formulas they used to price every stage of construction, the same formulas used to build Independence Hall, Christchurch, Carpenters Hall itself. Thomas Jefferson, the man who designed his own home at Monticello, who understood architecture better than most professionals of his era, could not access this document. I spent weeks trying to understand why. What I found wasn't about carpentry. It was about an entire economic system that existed before 1863, a system
Oh shit, I ain't unmute. The one thing I'm just gonna say is that the narrator sounds like he's from Britain. What the hell? See, these people, these foreigners are so enamored and so in awe of America. And this is how they up over here just lamping, getting money, just this is gliding through and gliding out because they know more about America than we know. And
No,
more
I think that
importantly,
it's a
than these people
worldwide
in office
secret.
know.
I think it's them people in office know everything, and them so-called Masons. They know the majority, but what he just said, nobody could do but me. That I done heard in the conscious community. That's saying a lot.
All right, let's get back to it.
I just wish you would rewind that. Let me just get 30 seconds. Let me just
They had to
rewind
make us,
that. Just like 30 seconds. It don't even need to be that
I came to
long.
this research through Christchurch.
Yeah, like right there, right there, right there.
You ready?
Itself.
Go ahead and go for a
Thomas
second.
Jefferson, the man who designed his own home at Monticello, who understood architecture better than most professionals of his era, could not access this document. I spent weeks trying to understand why. What I found wasn't about carpentry. It was about an entire economic system that existed before 1863.
Can you put it on pause?
By banks. A system they had to make us forget.
This is what nobody can do, and this is where the confusion comes. And I don't know if people do it on purpose or not, but we have to mentally erase everything we know mentally about the modern era. Dream that we was in 1860 and take everything electronical away, which means your refrigerator, your heat, your TV, your computer, the way we farm, the way you get from point A to point B, the way you fuck. You have to throw everything out your head. Now, why would you say some stupid ass shit like that, rude words, Andre? Because that's when the new world was invented in the late and middle 1800s. Every last invention in the world came out in the 18 and early 1900s. So before then, there was a new old system. And guess what it was called? Venice. Every city in the world was Venice. And your major motherfucking highways was these rivers. People can't mentally go there with it. And I digress.
I came to this research through furniture. My grandmother left me an oak chair, solid and heavy, made sometime in the 1840s. Nearly 2 centuries later, it still sits perfectly level, no wobble.
That look like a Jerry curl right there?
I believe that. See,
No
I'm
creak.
the only one.
Trace who made it.
My fault. You got to put it on pause. See, don't open up Pandora's box. Fuck that.
Craftsmen who built furniture like this chair didn't operate the way we assume workers have always operated.
All I can say is I'm the only one that says, yeah, black people been here forever. So has a whole bunch of these hillbillies. And we've been fucking forever. And when you look at the pictures, a lot of them people were high yellow, people were mulattoes. Man, there was mulattoes running around this motherfucker so much. We made a country called Mexico. And I digress.
They weren't paid hourly wages. They weren't taking out loans to buy materials. They were part of something called the guild system, and once I understood how it worked, I understood why it had to be replaced. The Carpenters Company of Philadelphia is the oldest craft guild in North America that still operates today.
Hold on, man. Put it on pause for a second, bro. I'm sorry, man. Before he say this, man, I'm sorry, bro. Y'all remember I said everything ancient used to be Catholic. When you break the word Catholic down to calf, it talks about a cathedral. It talk about cathesis. It talk about a catheter. And you know, a catheter which takes fluid from one area to another. And it's talking about a cathoid. And all this stuff is dealing with electrical frequencies inside your body to make you heal. All Catholic churches was healing places, but I'm about to tell you something. They say all the guilds and guilders was motherfucking body electricians. And I digress.
We use that word now. They worked. I understood why it had to be replaced. The Carpenters Company of Philadelphia is the oldest craft guild in North America that still operates today. 300 years and counting. Their members weren't carpenters in the way we use that word now. They were what the 18th century called master builders, combining the roles we now split between architects, engineers, and contractors. When Philadelphia needed Independence Hall, they built it. When the colonies needed a meeting
Did my shit stop?
Hell yeah, you got on. Yeah, you on the front page. Yeah, you on your regular page.
I'm trying to figure this shit out. Damn.
I'm telling you, all this stuff happened in the 1800s. That's why I really, man, god damn, so much shit happened in the 1800s and late 1700s where I don't even look at history the same way as other people do, bro. That's the best I could say.
First Continental Congress, they offered Carpenter's Hall, which they had constructed themselves starting in 1770. These buildings still stand, not as historical curiosities propped up by Philadelphia. When Philadelphia needed Independence Hall, they built it.
And what the fuck?
When the colonies needed a meeting place for the First Continental Congress, they offered Carpenter's Hall, which they had constructed themselves starting in.
Look at this writing in the back, man. What is that? What is that? This is what tripped me out.
1770. These buildings still stand, not as historical curiosities propped up by constant renovation, but as functional structures. Their rulebook, the one Jefferson couldn't access, contained something the official histories don't emphasize. It was a pricing system based on what they called unit pricing. Every stage of construction had a standardized fair price, not whatever the market would bear, not whatever a client could be talked
See, man, if you look at these white
fair
folks
price
and
determined by
rewind them,
members called
man, they
measure.
don't look like Europeans, man. They look like hillbillies and honkies, man. If you look at these white folks, man, they don't look like they come from England and Scotland and Ireland. The motherfuckers look like them American white boys. And I digress, man.
Yeah, you're right about that. They looking real different. Yeah, they looking different. And then it's easy to watch to see it when you're looking at their beard. You know, it ain't stringy.
Like, see him right there? He could be like, and I'm not saying I'm right, like, bro, a lot of people don't understand. You can look at Europeans like you look like most Africans, man. They're not fully human. They're mankind. Best I could say. Most of them American white dudes was having beards and they just like he could look like he might be from France, but just it's hard for me to say that the motherfuckers was Europeans back in the day. It was too many of them, bro. Motherfuckers was some American hunkies. But that's what they play the checkerboard with us. They divide the white and the blacks in the country. But I digress, man.
Who worked in teams of at least two, ensuring that no individual could inflate costs for personal gain. The system was designed to be fair to everyone involved. The measures called measurers who worked in teams of at least two, ensuring.
Look at that.
See what I'm saying? That's the man. Before the 1900s, everybody had a hunky ass auntie. I thought I was, but I can't find none in my family. Everybody back then had a hunky ass auntie, and when you find these white folks, they don't even like to say it. They had a motherfucking black ass, goddamn it, motherfucking auntie or uncle too, my nigga.
Look at that now.
And then when you put that woman in the picture and let a European tell the story, they're gonna say she white, nigga.
Yeah.
That no individual could inflate costs for personal gain. The system was designed to be fair to everyone involved, the craftsman and the client alike. Extended lines of credit between community members could be held open for months, even years. Work might be exchanged for food, for other services, for raw materials. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, in a 1928 report on wage history, described colonial America this way. A system of barter existed throughout the first century of settlement.
See, put that on pause real quick, bro. That's how all of the world was, bro. And you can look at from Mexico on down right now. Ever since World War I went around the world with its capitalism, said we're gonna give you these Fortune 500 companies. And you could tell before these Fortune 500 companies, man, you make you 50 motherfucking hot motherfucking pies, nigga, and you hit the corner and you was known as the pie man. Somebody right next to you be known as the apple man. Somebody right next to you be known as the shirt man. Person next to you be known as the person that motherfucker mark up the shirts. The person next to you be the person that sew up the shirts. Everybody had their own industry, my nigga. That's what we looking at. I digress.
Payment of wages. Face-to-face arrangements help bind the community together. Now, the obvious objection is that this was one of the most influential.
Hey, what was that dude's page? I want to hear the because dude be making, yeah, and it be making sense. Hell yeah, that's something because I knew it was a barter and trade system, but now I really understand it now. We was going outside like the Mexicans and South Americans be doing. There wasn't no Walmart back then. There wasn't no motherfucking Lazarus and J.C. Penney's and Costco and all that shit. Nah, man, you went to the old dude's grandma's crib and she had some food over there. You went to old dude's uncle's crib and he fixed your car and built you a house, my nigga. You couldn't go to fucking H&R Block. And you went to somebody's auntie's crib, nigga, and she was Miss H&R Block, nigga. I digress, man.
Hey man, how you put people on the damn screen, man? At least want to big y'all up, in the chat. It's not even giving me an opportunity to do that.
What you mean put people on the screen?
You know how you click on the thing and
go sideways. Touch your screen. Sometimes you can go sideways. That's how I knew that Truth Zone was in here because I was just going sideways on my screen and I said, "Oh, Truth Zone in here."
It says channel activity. Go to channel pin message report.
Or push more down at the bottom. It's more where it says mute.
I'm on the actually YouTube thing. Let me go on my thing. Let's see how I could do it. On the StreamYard, that shit is nothing. You can do that shit like it ain't nothing. Channel activity, go to channel pin message report. It ain't letting me do none of that. Yeah, this is some garbage. Let's see how StreamYard be getting people.
What are you talking about, bro?
You know, when you hit some people thing and then you can actually put it on the screen.
I don't think you could do that on Zoom.
Yeah, I don't think you do that either.
I think you could hit the messages, though. That's what I'd like to see. I think you could show the messages, bring the messages up.
That's what I was trying to do. All right, let me see real quick. Pop out chat. Bam. I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Pretty much done. It's 5:30. My time.
Hey man, did you hear what Trump said, man? Trump is a crazy, psychotic motherfucker. This is a week after he called black people monkeys.
What'd he say?
Yeah, no, this motherfucker is crazy, man. Like a week and a half ago, we had a picture of Obama and them looking like monkeys. At the State of the Union. Now, it ain't just a black thing, because he don't bar none on nobody. So I don't know if he's racist or just psychotic. He looked this bitch in the face. He looked this bitch in the face, bro, and said these Somalian pirates are taking over motherfucking Minnesota and shit and doing all this fraud stuff. And that's not our culture. That's your culture. He looked this bitch in the face and called her a Somalian pirate, man. And everybody laughed. Like, that was the sickest shit I've ever seen out of white folks, bro. This shit is crazy around here. You might not get it. Just man, how can you call this woman a Somalian pirate on national TV?
Well, I know she was hot in the background. Hey, that's just where they at right now.
Man, you should show that, man. That was a classic. I didn't know that he was turned up like that, man. Like after like a week after you call some motherfuckers some monkeys. Oh shit. I'm glad he called a white woman fat. He called the other woman nasty. So he go at everybody. But there was that one wannabe black looking dude, that Spanish black dude named Doto. As soon as he put the motherfucking thing up like black people aren't apes, he said, "You Somalian pirate." Man, just like, man, I'll fuck with Trump. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give it to anybody, man. I just think it was a classic, man.
He said that at the address.
He said that at the House of the Union and shit you was showing, bro. They call her a Somalian pirate. And you couldn't do nothing but laugh, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? His vice president and speaker of the House, you can hear dudes, like, you can see dudes' lips like, what the fuck? The vice president had to laugh like, oh, man, what the fuck wrong with him, man? White woman, man, he clowned that bitch so bad in 10 seconds. A white woman next to him had to grab the Somalian pirate's hand, like, it'll be okay. And what was so fucked up, as soon as he said the Somalian pirate, the two cameramen went directly on her and kept the camera on her for like 30 seconds. Man, that was the illest, most racist shit I ever seen. And I loved every minute of it. Man. I don't give a fuck. That's what make it evil. Like, all black people didn't give a fuck. Like, well, yeah, it's racist, but oh well, man. Fuck it, man. That's Trump, man. That's Uncle Trump. I just think that was a classic, man. I just think that was a classic, man. Like, the one white woman had to even hold her hand, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, damn.
He's stupid. Hey, man, let me go ahead and get this thing off. It's 5:30. Let me get this off, and man, appreciate you coming up, man.
It's all good. What, you about to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I got to be.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'm probably about to go. I don't know. I'm gonna go over Truth Zone's channel here in about 20 minutes and just say what's up, though. I'll be trying to keep my spirits high, bro. Yeah, I'll be trying to keep my motherfucking energy contained, man. Yeah, that's all I can say, man. Shit. As long as you have a mellow showing, the conversation won't disagree too much, I'll pop up. Hell yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just gotta pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just gonna play these couple of tracks and say peace to everybody. After these 2 tracks, we out. Just hang out, enjoy the music. You know what we about to do.
Stay positive, OG.
No doubt. You do the same, brother.
I'm the coach, quotes coded in oak with a ghost loaded focus. Chrome in the coat, king with the cloak, smoking that hocus pocus. Infinite styles, pivot and pile up the mileage. I'm wild with the science. You see the line on my avatar, iron jaw pride. I to devour the silence. Why you niggas steady lying? Got me laughing hard, satire and fraud. I fire the squad. Wise get crossed when I'm sparring with all the guards. Author of art, carving a mark in the bark of the market at large. Target the sharks, heart of a Spartan. I sharpen the margin with bars. You rather bargain and dodge. I'd rather you come get your taxes done. Black suit back, room fat. facts in a stack, I'm relaxing the maximum. Get out of the pocket, the profit, the rocket, then I just might tax you punch. Racket your funds, I'm stacking in chunks, reacting to actions, you're begging to punch. Sometimes my community hard-headed, scarred, dreading the lessons. I chart head and start spreading the message, embedded in pressure. Sovereign living, I'm private with it, no corporate percentage. Discharging debt with a pen stroke, you still don't notice the vision. I've been telling y'all you don't wanna debate me, weighty and ready. Great with machetes, linguistically shredding the petty. Grab these 15 acres, landscape major, plan made paper, land patent stamped and sacred since my campaign greater. I ain't talking about Ice-T when I say that I can show you law and order. Court recorder, I sort the torture, contort the border. I eat the case, beat the state, leave a trace in a raw supporter. Briefcase aura, got your baby mama thinking that I'm a lawyer. Seminole Indian sentiment, militant on sovereign soil. Private enrollment, tribal component. I'm the boss if you're trying to employ it.
Clutch, baby. Infinite.
Get your land pat. Yeah, I can discharge your debt. You gotta live by 5 principles before we just connect. Cause you could pose as my friend and then really be the threat. Like Brutus the Julius and them dudes that killed Malcolm X. Get your hand out of my pocket! Get your hand out of my pocket, nigga! Get your hands out of my pocket! Get your hand out! Brother, please. Y'all think getting remedies important. We make your lawyers lose their indemnity insurance. King Chameleon, private, I don't wanna be popular. Grandpapa, home papa, mama black mafia. Yeah, we them big owners holding rank. You call Rocket lawyer, high collar owner of the bank. He in the private at the temple, like Ginobili in the paint. And we got 3 militaries, we might be rolling in some tanks. While you balancing with a check gross, going to work for debt notes. Overtime all your life paying mortgages, then you left broke. Damn. Shout out to Mayweather, who's obviously woke. He settled $18 million with a promissory note. I'm not your corporation's chattel, this world gotta be a joke. Blind leading the blind, so we never gonna see.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
Everybody fake woke while the president is asleep. So I introvert myself, cause it's evident to me. No one saves us but us. Buddha said it in BC. No title deeds to just reference the evidence to me. Man, you don't own it, you a tenant, and it says it on your deed. You said with a sign, but didn't take the time to even read. There's gotta be an idiocracy. They call you crazy as Kanye, just for thinking logically. 2 million nationals backing us to stop who ain't stopping me. For instance, when Columbus came over here, they admitted Native Americans was already there. But if our kids take a test on who discovered land we on, and you say Native Americans, you get the question wrong. Don't lie to us, you are just a colonist. Can't hide the truth, we got all the proof from the anthropologists. We know the system now, it's time to get up out of it. But it's our fault, cause we fought so hard to be a part of it.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
All people trying to burn us, out here selling services with disclaimers, saying that it ain't for legal purposes. No cash, broke ass, internet burglars with temporary schemes and a lot of fraudulent dreams. Yeah, we got our own embassy, we got our own consulate, foreign administrations and 3 armies on top of it. We live by 5 principles, but we'll die for this. Freedom back to the people, protect them from the apocalypse. I took that title that they gave me and I clouded it. F what you say, sets the Cuban, I got a bond with this. My way of thinking pissed the military off. I ain't with their way of thinking, Roman military law. We coming peaceful outside the mosque and the cathedral, and we'll resort to violence. I gotta protect my people. They call us ghetto, they call us thugs. The only God they worship, guns, oil, and drugs. I'm on the block, Martin Luther King was shot, holding a gun that killed Kennedy, trying to find a remedy. infinity. You can't cancel me nor censor me. With chancery and sensory, God-like energy to infinity. My actions are my testament. I got a lot of questioning. How Ben Frank was on 100 but was never president. You broke, you go to jail. You got money, you get right out. They lock you up for drugs, but they got coke in the White House. What?